Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So this is actually my first video that I'm making. Maybe someday you'll see my face, but it's not going to be today. So I wanted to introduce you to this bar of soap. This bar was called Siren's Call. It's kind of a dark bar. Sorry, it's not showing up really well in the light. Let's see if I can get it better. It's really gorgeous. It's got teal, gray, purple. And it had cute little mermaid tails at the top. But my cute little mermaid tails all began to break from these bars. So what happens to bars that I just can't sell? I have 6 of them right here. And that is what I'm going to show you. Honestly, the short answer of what happens to them, my salad shooter that I inherited. And I'll show you the process. So I'm just going to kind of cut them into strips so that it's easier to put into the salad shooter. Now this particular one doesn't have a shredder blade. It's just kind of like, I don't know, like the slicer. So they kind of come out in like strips, but once it's all in a soap mold, it really doesn't matter. And you can see I'm just cutting them into like 3 pieces because those will fit down into the hopper thing. Sorry if you hear my cat, he's outside, he wants to come in. And since I'm soaping, I just don't want him in right now. Anyway, I've got all the strips and I'm gonna try to shoot them all into this one container. I don't know if it's big enough, but we'll give it a go. Okay, I will just take a break to show you. When you send it through, when I cut it in strips like this, you just get a mixture of whatever colors. So I've done this with some other bars that just didn't work out. If you ever bought a bar of Wasted Away Again, it's made from a salt bar that I cut when it was too hard. But it just makes little strips that I can put into some glycerin soap, and they look really colorful, they look really fun. So let me finish all of that. All right, so as you can see, I should have just used one big bowl, but I got 3 of these plastic measuring cup things full. And I will clean and sanitize that guy later. So let me get a little cleaned up from this and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I just wanted to show you some things that you'll need to do this project. First of all, we're going to start with PPE. So this is a hairnet. I actually got a pack of a bunch of them very cheaply from Temu, like 50 or 100 of them for just $1 or $2. Because nobody wants hair in their soap. That would be gross. The next thing are just some gloves. I use nitrile gloves. You're going to want your soap mold, and you're going to want your confetti soap that you cut up, your old soap bits and pieces, and then I'll reuse this cup as I go along. So let me get this stuff all figured out. And so we'll go from here. So I'm going to put my gloves on. Everything that I have is sterilized with 91% rubbing alcohol. My soap mold has been sprayed and wiped out with alcohol, and then I'll spray it again before I pour so that it helps a little bit with demolding and unmolding. I don't know which one is right. Unmolding, demolding, something like that. Anyhow, But I started with clean hands from the sink, and then I sanitize them, and then I go from there. So the very first thing, like I said, that I'm going to do is spray my mold with alcohol. And I'm gonna take this small container and spray all these guys with alcohol. Just a bunch of it, kind of shake them up a little bit so that they get covered. Now what the alcohol and these do is help the soap stick to it. So, and then you just kind of pour them in. Get my little scraper, scrape all these bits out. This is a really good project for someone who's beginning. And if you're unhappy with your cold process soap, this is a really good project because it's very simple. Once again, I'll spray them and then I'll add some more. All right, so yeah, now you can kind of see I have 2 loaves with all this confetti soap in it. And get all the little chunks. The next thing I'm gonna do is use my glycerin soap. I just get these big clear boxes of glycerin soap. Sorry, the angle's horrible. Let's see. I get these big clear boxes of glycerin soap from Michael's when they're on sale. There are much better deals that you can get if you buy in bulk, but every time I purchased this glycerin soap, I got it for a really good deal. And you can just see I cut up the whole 10-pound block into little chunks so that when I use it, it's easy and I don't have to cut anything off. But I'm going to just eyeball how much I need. Take it to the microwave, put it in there for 30-second bursts until it is melted. The next thing that I have, and this also just came from Michael's when I first started, sky blue liquid colorant. Any kind of shade of blue is really helpful. You just put a few drops of blue into the glycerin soap and it helps kind of make it look a little bit more clear. It's just called bluing the soap. I'll tell you guys while we wait here a little bit about my soaping story. So, you can see I have a little piece. Can you see it? Yeah, I have a little floater, a little piece of confetti soap that takes much more heat than what's giving off right there to melt. We'll put you in there, guy. So, I'll tell you guys my soaping story. Let me check the temperature. And you can see it's 153 degrees. So I'm just gonna stir it. You don't want it to get too hot because it can burn and that's miserable. It's wasteful. If you're stirring and you feel like you have a lot of bubbles, this is where your rubbing alcohol comes into effect. Spray it and it'll pop the bubbles. And I buy clear soap. It probably doesn't look that clear right now because I put it into that container with the confetti soap. But like I said, if you just take about 3 to 5 drops, if you're using liquid, and just a little bit of mica if you're not. I used a little more than 5 drops. Oops. And you put it in there. It kind of helps make it look a little bit clearer. I still have a chunk of soap that's not going away. So I'm gonna microwave mine for a little bit more. But once again, like I said, I'm experienced. Please be careful if you're not experienced. So last year, in the very end of 2021, very beginning of 2022, like a couple days after Christmas, I was diagnosed with kidney failure and I had to start dialysis. So during these dialysis treatments, they're like 4 hours long and you're just trying to do anything that you can do while you're having to sit still. So of course I'm scrolling Instagram Reels and TikToks and YouTube and stuff like that. And I fell upon the world of soap cutting and like the ASMR of that. And I thought, wow, that's really cool. But what about soap making? So I started watching some videos of people that were pouring soap. And it just looked so relaxing, so soothing. I'm gonna add a few more drops of blue so I can be a little more happy with this color. It looked so relaxing, so soothing, and I became obsessed with it. Oh, I have another floater. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I became obsessed with it. It was really just relaxing for me to watch at that time in my life when everything was crazy. And I probably watched those videos for months. I'm gonna check the temp again. 163. And I don't feel like I need to wait until this cools down to pour it in. I want it to be pretty hot so that I can pour the second layer and not have any problems. You can see the blue in it didn't really turn it blue, but it just kind of helps make it look a bit more clear. So we'll start with the front one. So I started watching these soap videos, and I probably did for about 5 or 6 months before I thought to myself, like, I could really do this. So sometime around like last June, I went with a friend to Michael's and got glycerin soap and those little liquid dyes and a couple molds and just kind of started this whole process. I'm just banging it down so that this clear soap goes all the way down. Okay, I need more. So yeah, so I started watching videos, Brambleberry and the Soap Queen, and just a whole bunch of other basic melt and pour type videos. I thought melt and pour was really cool, but quite honestly, I'm not very good at some of the designs. I know I could probably be better at it if I put the time and the effort into really learning it and studying it. But I have not. Let's see. Come on. But I started watching different things, making melt and pour designs, and found very quickly that melt and pour did not make me feel as relaxed as it looked. So then, me being me, and if any of you guys actually know me, you know that I can kind of jump into something and teach myself how to do it pretty well. So me being me, I decided that I was going to start watching these cold process videos, which were the videos that I found most relaxing, I guess. And that's when you take your oils and your lye and water, and you can make these beautiful swirls, and your soap has to cure. And so I started watching those and thinking, hey, I could do this. So I bought some oils, I bought some lye, and I started making soap from there. So that's just kind of a brief little bit about my story. Oh, this still needs way more time. So I just want to encourage you that no matter where you are in your journey, and even if your thing is not, making soaps and whatever, but whatever your craft is, whatever your joy is, to enjoy the process, keep teaching yourself, and have fun with it. I've put a lot into this. I sell at farmers markets and stuff like that. I've sold to some friends and stuff online. I don't have a really big online presence yet, but I'll probably have to change that if I'm going to be doing like YouTube and stuff. But if you want to follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I am Scrubbed Sparrow. And if you see any soaps that you're interested in and you'd like to place an order for shipping, I can do that and invoice you very easily. So no problem there, just let me know. Now I'm transitioning more so away from glycerin soaps and more so into doing only cold processed. But situations like this where I've got this soap that just needed a new life, and when I do different embeds to go on top of other soaps, such as my little hearts, these are glycerin soaps because they're just a bit easier, a bit faster to make. Glycerin soap is soap. Glycerin is not a bad thing. Glycerin is actually a humectant that draws water to your skin, and it can be very moisturizing for your skin. And making soap like this cold process type soap here before it was shredded naturally causes glycerin to be in the bars. So I know there's a lot of people that say a lot of things about, oh, melt and pour soap makers aren't really making soap and this and that. It's an art, and however you choose to express yourself and however you enjoy expressing yourself, I have seen some very, very beautiful artisan glycerin soaps that people make these beautiful designs, cherry blossoms, all kinds of things in them. And that's the cool thing about the glycerin soap, is it's a little bit faster to make. So you can make all your soaps and have them and sell them within like a day. They only take about 4 to 6 hours to really set up. So I don't know if you can see and really tell this. I don't know if it's going to be really easy off camera, but just adding that little bit of blue kind of makes it look a little clearer. It's a trick that I have learned from some wiser soap makers. So and hopefully this is all still hot enough. So I'm going to end it right about there, just because you can see it's covering all of the other soaps. And if you spray it, then it takes away the bubbles and stuff. So I'm going to use this fairy duster from Mad Micas. It's called Sparkle Me Plenty, just to add a little bit of glitter to the top. And it comes out in this pump, and hopefully you can kind of see. It just adds a little bit of luster to the top of the soap. So this one is done. I'm going to melt and move that carefully. I'm going to keep melting here this soap, pouring the soap. All right, you guys, I'm going to finish these confetti soaps up off camera. It was a joy kind of making soap with you and starting this new YouTube adventure. And everyone, be blessed, stay safe, and find something fun to do. All right, bye.